Hey,
And
all,
let me,
I wanted to introduce you to Omar. Unlike the other stuff I do, Omar is from tech background and technology, which is my background. That's where I grew up in. That's once my passion. It still is my passion. I'm kind of going towards real estate. But anyway, let's talk about Omar. Omar has an impressive background. He's now has a startup in the blockchain and cryptocurrency field. But I'll let him explain, where he started and how he got to where he is. So Omar, please uh, kind of give a little bit about you.
all right. Well, thanks for having me here, Raji. And yeah, I mean, I have a pretty, extensive background. And you're probably going to have to give me some kind of a cue so I don't keep talking too long
Sure.
when I get close to the time limit. But so yeah, I started my career initially working at Raytheon in Boston. Out of college, I was working at their missile systems division, building chips that went into like the Patriot missiles and stuff like that. Then I came back to Cleveland, where I grew up, and I started working at NASA there, and also doing my master's part time.
Right.
And I worked in their research analysis center, helping a lot of principal investigators with collecting experimental data, doing digital signal processing to analyze that data. Also, I was getting a master's in artificial intelligence, and then applying AI to look for patterns in the data that was being collected. So it was very interesting stuff. And then, like around the mid 1990s, I started. So at NASA we had internet like since forever, right?
Right.
Before like regular companies, this is like before internet became a commercial thing. Government and education institutions had it, and so we had internet access. And I became like one of the first webmasters there by setting up
Ah,
the web servers for NASA. And then pretty soon,
mhm,
all the different centers were also doing it, and we got together,
mhm,
and we had this NASA webmasters group.
mhm.
And then back in like 1996, I don't know if you remember, but NASA launched some rovers to Mars,
Uh-huh.
and NASA, our web servers got hit with like incredible amount of traffic, and then they were going down, and we had to quickly learn how to scale them up. And
Mhm.
so from that, I got interested in scaling backend services, web services. And so
Oh,
then I was helping startups with that are like internet startups that are trying to do e-commerce and running into scaling issues. So helping them scale their backend systems. And I also started some businesses of my own on the side to help companies get online, and also even a matrimonial service for the Asian Indian community at one time. Yeah, yeah, I did that way before Shadi.com. But yeah, yeah. So and and uh, and then from that, I ended up getting invited to join Yahoo, because Yahoo was having a lot of difficulty with scaling their backend infrastructure for video.
mhm.
So I was principal architect of Yahoo's multimedia streaming center, and I redesigned a lot of their backend infrastructure so that it could scale to handle video. And then I, following that, I did some consulting for startups, and then I joined Zynga, helped them with their scaling issues, handling like millions of daily active users that play games and things like that. So my background has been in scaling backend services for large organizations and companies, and it's very interesting. It's basically distributed systems area, and so that kind of led me, like in 2011 when I came across Bitcoin and blockchain, to think about how could we scale this technology. So having that background, I was looking at how to do that, but it was a very difficult problem, and I kept putting it off and hoping that somebody else would do it, and I didn't have to, leave my job and work on this thing. But and then, I was not seeing anybody doing scaling at the core interest, at the core blockchain level. They were always adding like these second layer solutions on top of what was already there. And so in 2016, I left my consulting job and then just started focusing on, how to design a system that's really scalable at its core.
Mhm.
And that's when, started Shardus, and that's where I'm at. So like for 2 years, I locked myself up in the library and worked on the design. And then like in late 2017, I, started putting a team together. And then, we've started the Shardus project. And so that's what I'm working on right now is, building a highly scalable blockchain solution.
Awesome, awesome. That's an impressive background, obviously.
Thanks.
Here, that's a lot of stuff. Obviously, his extensive background in scaling up servers or backend systems, obviously that led into the, I'm not, that heavy into the blockchain, the problems there. So obviously there was a problem you saw there. Now with the
Right.
Shardus, I think you already have the product and everything is kind of getting ready to go. So with that being said, who are you looking for? What is it that would help you go that public or scale it up? Well, who are you looking for? And who are you looking to connect, and who can help you?
Yeah. So Shardus, we're building it so that it can actually handle really, really large scale global applications, right? So um, I in 2008, I got interested in money because of Ron Paul talking about, how we need to go to sound money, and just researching money led me to learn a lot more than I ever knew before. And that's also, how I stumbled on Bitcoin in 2011, was because I was researching money. And I actually came up with this concept that you could have a very robust monetary system, which is, immune to, inflation and deflation.
Mhm. Yes. Mhm.
So you don't have these cycles and bubbles. Um, and you can do that very simply by having money given to people on, let's say, a daily or weekly basis. It's referred to as universal basic income now. It's
Right.
actually becoming a popular thing.
Mhm.
And then also combining that with what's called demortgage, where some money gets taken away out
Mhm.
of your account. So if you combine those two things, you get a very stable monetary system where
Mhm.
the money supply grows and shrinks based on the number of people in your economy. And I
Mhm.
wrote a paper about that in 2011 called Sound Money Without Commodities. Uh, and I wanted to implement that, but I couldn't, find a way to do that
Mhm.
in a way that people couldn't corrupt the system. And when I came across, Bitcoin and blockchain, I realized, wow, this is really the solution that we need to create a trustless system where
Mhm.
all these entities could, work on that without anybody being able to take advantage of it and create, like fake accounts or, game the system. So that's what we've been wanting to implement.
Mhm.
And that's part of the reason why I'm starting Shardus, is because
Mhm.
I want to use this technology that I'm building to eventually create uh, this, global, uh, you know, people powered, monetary system. And I
Nice.
do believe that in the long term,
Mhm.
the world will move towards a single currency,
Mhm.
which everybody around the world uses, and it won't be a national currency, and it won't be like Bitcoin where it's a commodity,
Mhm.
where it fluctuates so much. It'll be actually a stable coin,
Mhm.
and it'll just be automatically stable without having to back it with anything. So
Mhm.
yeah, but what we're looking for with Shardus is basically other projects that might be interested
Mhm.
in using this technology to launch their own decentralized network or decentralized service,
Mhm.
that really needs global scale, right?
Gotcha.
So a lot of people are currently building things on the Ethereum blockchain,
Mhm.
creating what they call decentralized applications.
Mhm.
But it's kind of like you have one big giant computer and everybody puts all their software and it runs on that one computer. Of course, it's going to get like overloaded, right?
Mhm.
So with Shardus, we expect people to create their own networks, and then these networks will interconnect and interoperate with each other and with other networks that are already out there, like, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so forth.
Mhm.
So we'll have a world where there's lots of networks as opposed to one big network that everybody puts all their applications on. And so that's what we're looking for, are projects that are interested in using this kind of technology. And
Mhm.
of course, we're always, looking for good developers, talented developers. They can reach me
Mhm.
if they're interested in working on something like Shardus. So
Awesome, awesome. So, as you guys heard it, two things. One is, if you're involved in any kind of blockchain technology, and like alternative methods or methodologies or systems, go reach out to Omar. And obviously, if you're enthusiastic about blockchain and you are a developer, reach out to him. If they're any good, maybe
right, right,
you create something fantastic or significant, and you'll
right.
be part of that deal. So I'll post all that info, by the way, on the top, so you guys can connect to Omar and reach out to him and see how you guys can do something together. Now, with that being said, my favorite question, Omar, is with all this extensive background, you obviously have impressive, resume and workplaces, and I'm sure personal life too. What is the one thing you can share about all that stuff that has helped you immensely, you think, and that can help
Um,
others?
yeah, so basically my advice to somebody young getting started basically would be that, uh, follow your passion, do things that you love to do. If you're going to work and you find yourself looking at the clock and thinking, oh man, the weekend's coming up, that's great, and you hate Mondays and things like that, then you're probably not doing what you really love, right? So when you look forward to working and you can't stop working, then you're really doing what you love, right?
Right.
So that's the thing, follow your passion. um, it's not all about just making money. But if you can follow your passion and make money, then
Right.
that's even better,
Right.
right? So that's the one thing to do. The other thing is, don't just think about yourself
Mhm.
and how much can I make in this world, or how do I get rich.
Mhm.
And then a lot of times you find these billionaires, they get rich first and then they end up with like billions and billions of dollars, and then they're like, okay, well, how do I what do I do with this, because I'm never going to spend it in my whole life. And then they end up like maybe setting up foundations and stuff like that. But instead of doing that, think how you can give along the way, right? As you're going through the journey of becoming successful, think about how you can give. And also, work on things that can make the world a better place. If the work that you're doing can also help make the world a better place, that's awesome.
Right.
And I really feel like with blockchain technology,
Mhm.
this is a key technological paradigm shift that's coming with this, and it's going to make the world a much better place than it was before.
Mhm.
And I'm really happy to be a part of that and to be contributing to that.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you, Omar, for taking the time. As you can see, he's passionate about his blockchain technology. So if you are interested in that, especially you're in tech field and you're a developer, reach out to him. And obviously, if you want to use his, systems to do your own blockchains or however that works with you, please reach out to him and see if it's a good fit for you. So with that said, Omar, thank you for taking the time and taking the time to talk to us. And again, I'll post all his info. Please reach out to him.
Hey, I
Bye,
appreciate
Omar.
it. Thank you very much, Raj.